more terrifying, sketchy shit like this I find, the more I wonder if my purpose of being here is not to save these people somehow. Wild Man Willie here out in the field, and the day is getting a lot better. So forget the stand-up customer. We'll deal with that later. Right now, I've got a 2005 Toyota Sienna here. Had a no crank, no start situation. I went out yesterday and gave it some hammer time and recovered the vehicle back to its home. So this is a classic failed starter situation. Not very difficult to deal with on this car, thank goodness. I'm looking for a straightforward repair, and I'm sure the client is as well. This plastic comes out, this battery comes out, and then right there's my starter meat and potatoes right underneath that. We got an O'Reilly special to go on it. We're going to get that on that. We're going to make this an hour or less experience out here if we possibly can. That's what the bill's going to reflect. Let's see if we can make the minutes match that. In any event, a reasonable repair, a reasonable customer. Let's get this done. That for efficiency, folks. We've got the old starter fully exposed and the wiring off, so now it's a simple matter of blasting a 14mm bolt at the bottom and the other side of the bottom, and we'll have this out on the ground. As you can see here, she's an original Toyota, and you can see my scars where I put the pickle fork and the hammer and said, "Get this nice lady home," yesterday, and it sure did. And as I told them, that is we can get a false negative from that test, but I ain't never seen a false positive from that test. So, time to zap this bad boy out. We are well on time schedule. Now there's still the installation to do. I need to clean up a little bit around here, while I'm in it. But we're going to make it quick and efficient and get this one back on the road today. It's the plan. Comparing the Toyota original to the new one, everything looks like it's going to be all happy. This one still does what it's supposed to. This one sure feels better. Again, it's probably the solenoid part of this one. I bump them both. But in any event, out with that. Here's the hole. Got a little bit of crap to knock out of the way now that I'm under here. Or you see where some creative rodents like to bury things, but we're all good on that. So this one's just a breeze, folks. We're going to knock this crap off of here, install the new one, and get this put on the road. Happening very quickly, and I'm not racing it. I'm doing it right. Got a little valve cover leak on this one. I bet we're behind on a tune-up on this one. There's plenty of other services to offer the client after we get them back on the road. Let's make that happen. Starter is on the car and all marked up and ready to go. Now all we have to do is a simple matter of putting this bracket back on the battery terminal area here. And I'm going to wipe that crap off. Put our air breather box back in. Reattach our hood. Notice I've marked my vacuum lines with little dots so I know which one numerically is which. Don't have to know where they go. Just got to put the snorkel and battery material back in, and then we have ourselves a car. Record time, record time. Folks, made short work of that. Did a little topping off of the cooling system as that was low, and we're going to keep a close eye on that fluid level. However, proof is in the pudding. Go ahead and start this one up for us. That's a starter and successfully installed. Another happy Toyota, another happy customer. Let's call it a Sunday night. Beautiful, idyllic day out here in the neighborhood in Eugene. We're down in South Eugene at the moment, and today we're taking care of brakes on a Hyundai Santa Fe. Y'all might remember I did the crankshaft pulley on this. It was the impossible screw no one could remove. Today we're doing a simple pad swap. Rotors could be a lot better here, but they could also be a lot worse. What we're after is to make the car stop. So to make that happen, I've got a set of premium Bendix brake pads. And I'm quickly becoming a Bendix man when it comes to these things. Thank you for choosing us. I like that. They even give me a little tag to put on their window. I love it. I'm going to hang that for them. Great. So, good looking stuff. Good looking name backing plates. Multi-shim, or multi-layer shim. It's attached with the rivets. Good stuff, especially for the money. I'm enjoying my deals I'm getting on this stuff through Rock Auto. So are my clients. And the quality is exactly what I'm looking for. So, not too egregious looking on this one. Not the thinnest I've seen. Just old and ready and ripe. And who hell knows what the hell they put on it last time. Let's dive in. Let's lubricate everything up. Get it clean. Get this one ready to rock on the road. 4 wheels to do. Let's see if we can do it in an hour. Making this one quick. Too much camera work adds about 4 times the time to the project, and well, simple brake pad job. This is a dual piston caliper, but a relatively easy one to deal with. As crabby as things look, they're functioning well. I got them well lubricated now and everything's happy. So I got our new pads, new hardware, and all this lubricated and marked. All this side's ready to go. Now we need to move on to the rear. Number 3 exposed, and this one's drum on hat, so it ought to be relatively easy to deal with this without any parking brake interference. Bust off my nuts, clean things up, get this one back together. We got a little more corrosion on this vehicle than I'm used to being a Eugenian. Thankfully everything's turning for me so far. Beat on steel, make sure that keeps happening. Third corner, one more just like this to do. I'll show you the results when it's done. It's making it happen fast, trying to get home and get cooled off, because I do have another one to deal with this evening. Here we go. Corner's complete and installed, none done good and right without my signature. CCWJ 5 of 24. Got my Permatex orange brake grease in there real good, lubed up. Got my pins marked. Pressure has been returned to the pedal. Our dust shield is crusty, but she's not interfering with the rotor. So everything's ready to rock on this corner. That leaves one more to do. Went relatively quick. Let's knock it off, put it on the ground, take a little test drive, and tell the customer what else they may need to know about this one. The more terrifying, sketchy shit like this I find, the more I wonder if my purpose of being here is not to save these people somehow. Look at this. Wasn't out yet, but no wrench required on that side. Slide pin is not stuck, it moves. So what the fuck is going on here? Why would it be finger tight? Ready to kill you. Ready to just flop that one. I'll be damned. I don't know how. I don't get it. The threads are a little torn up on that, but not that damn bad. We're gonna make sure she'll actually thread in or find something that will or something. No, that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That'd work just great. So why do I keep finding loose screws and bolts and shit on brake jobs? And how are people not dying? I don't know. I'm just gonna fix it. We're gonna put it right. Thank goodness they called me today. Here we are. Oh, folks, that's a hell of a lot less dangerous there. As you can see, I've got my caliper slide pin bolts marked. I've got an X on either one, because this one, I felt like it was cutting its own threads into this guy. It turned and turned and turned and turned before it got to my full snugness. It's together, it's not going to fall apart, but I've made note here that this gave me a problem in the past, and we're going to do a sanity tightness recheck in a week, and or consider a replacement caliper bracket or caliper for back here. That being said, the hydraulics are working. If it doesn't loosen itself up, as I found it loose as piss, it should be all great, but you know, I just don't love that. So I've marked what I've done, but it has been repaired properly. I've cleaned it, I've lubricated it. It's tight like it should be. I think they just didn't tighten the shit up right last time. In any event, that's together. About to put this wheel on, about to give the vehicle a brief road test, and then we'll turn in our work and collect the pay. Hey, get on to the next one, as they're waiting on me, as always. Alright, everybody, I'm a man of my word, and here's the proof in the pudding. I've got this element mechanically back together. It's got a front bumper to go back on. It's got test and tune and refill and fluids to deal with tomorrow. I'm not going to do that tonight. It's getting dark on me. But this is all back together. If it don't have a head gasket problem, then the problem is solved. If it does, then it does, and someone else fixes it, not me. That being said, I'm hopeful for it. I got signs either way, but I never saw any combustion gas come out of that old radiator, so we'll do what we can. But as you can see, a lot of my markings going all the way down. It's a new water pump and tensioner. It's a new thermostat and housing. It's new hoses up top and on bottom. It's a new main radiator fan. See, you can see my date code on that. Got to get my coolant bottle in that. I may have to adjust the little slot at the bottom where that fits into. Found some bolts and screws that had been missing on the car. Found where a bracket is supposed to attach up underneath here, and I got it back where it lives. I don't know if you can see it through all this, but in any event, it has not been attached correctly to the car in quite a long time. Now it is. You can see the starter I put on it way back when. So, whole lot of work I've done on this car. My tattoos are all over it. Everything's all good. We're going to complete this job as soon as possible tomorrow or early afternoon. But right now, the sun is going down in Funky Town. You see the moon high in the sky. It's after 8 o'clock. It's time for me to go home and call it a day. Everything's all good here. People just want their cars back. I understand. Ain't nobody in a good mood when their car don't run. But a process like this takes as long as it takes. And it's not hard to have a little hiccup slow you down. So, it has been quite the day. Full brake job done. This bad boy back in one piece enough for me to go get some sleep. We'll recheck it, make sure it's sane in the morning. Well, everybody, I managed to make it home in one piece. That was good. Smoked my bowl. Feel much better now. Drank some pineapple juice. Feel even much better now. Up next, it's time for the shower and humanize. I'm going to have a spaghetti dinner. Got some sausage to make the spaghetti sauce with, so that's going to be awesome. But first, I gotta get, I can taste this shit. It tastes like Hyundai brakes and Honda Element nastiness. So, time to hit the showers and destroy that. But, a fun day. Wasn't bad. Took bad energy out of things and put good energy back in. Back on track. Everything's gonna work out good now, it looks like. So, I'm looking forward to tomorrow being a little easier day. Gonna put the front bumper clip back on that Element, recheck my wiring, refill fluids, leak check, sanity check, start her up, hope for the best. We're gonna see what the hell we have out of that one. I'm going to do a sanity check and bolt tight recheck on the Red Team Corolla. That guy's blown away. He is very happy with that car. That's awesome sauce. Might be meeting with someone to read some codes. I forget if I have anything else scheduled. I really don't think I do. Kind of hope not. A little beat up. Not day off time necessarily. I mean, yeah, I need like a week and a half off, but with pay. Too bad I run my own business, right? A lighter duty day would be cool. Today was the jungle gym. Anyhow, happy afternoon, everybody. I hope y'all are all having a great time. I'm gonna go hit the shower, see if I feel more like a human being when I get out. Everybody, look at that. We got a Honda Element back together in one piece. And I'm pleased to report that almost 2 miles of driving around the neighborhood, no sign of coolant loss, no sign of overheating. Of course, the proof's going to be after the car has been operated for a while, but all indications were it would have overheated earlier than that. Looking at our crabby nastiness, I believe this radiator tank seam was probably the main source of our leakage. She's holding crabby. Also, to note, this heater valve has signs of leakage around it and had splatters. Got rid of that. But you can see we did thermostat, housing, tensioner, water pump, heater valve, upper, lower radiator hoses, rearmost heater hose. This guy, yeah. Engine cooling fan relay, radiator cap. List goes on and on and on and on. Only had a couple little leftover screws and bolts, and I don't know that even goes to this car. Fuck it. It's together in one piece. And honestly, folks, I've never heard it run so smooth. So I'm going to open it up, do one more check of the coolant level, make sure that's where I left it is. You know, she's been up to temperature and been allowed to cool. But I am hopeful. I am hopeful about this one. For everybody's knowledge, I informed the customer that it may have a cylinder head gasket problem, and if so, this will not solve it. I ran my combustion leak gas test on this and was never able to get it to show me that it had any carbon dioxide in it. Now that it's been redone, seems like it's happy. We'll find out. If it does have a blown head, now that can actually be fixed and expect it to hold because the rest of the cooling system is in one piece. But anyway, I got paid. I got all my tools, every fucking where. It's time for me to clean things up and get to the house. I am ready to rock and roll. It's a beautiful afternoon to make some more progress on the Hilux. And what I managed to do today was turn soft install into installed. Upper control arm is attached correctly. Shock absorber attached correctly at the top. Ball joint attached correctly. This sway bar link needs to be tightened down soon. There's that to be done. Our stamp nut is stripped on both sides, one each for our shock absorber mount. No big deal. Nut and bolt take care of that. Run through the original. It'll bite in, just won't tighten up. We'll put one on top. It'll be all good. Brake reaction rod attached at the bottom of the control arm properly. You can see on my coat of many colors here. Again, that could take a little more tightness. Sway bar bushing needs to be tightened down. Working on the spring rod at the moment. Now, I had questions about this piece, that it does appear there's a left and right. They do appear they're keyed like a degree or so of angle off either way. I can't find any reference to tell me which side is what's supposed to be which. It appears that simply, I'm hopeful that attaching the bolts that hang the main shackle to the frame will answer my questions and put me in a bind if I'm out. In any event, sure does look like I can assemble it either way and it'd be just fine, folks. What are we talking? An ass hair down or an ass hair up, depending which way we go. So hard to say on that. Things to still address. Going up top, client did clean things up a bit up here, which I'm happy about. You can see where I got my upper control arm bushings in. They got green snot grease on the outside because that's what I had. But, you know, Shrek Snot does a good job. Organic grease. Got our alignment shims back in there the way they go. You can see my gold against my black, against my textured black, against my silver, against my gray. Every piece a little bit different color. But you know what? I think it looks freaking stellar. Got a beautiful car coming together. So, it's starting to be an over-engineered Hilux all over again. Ready to go serve in the desert somewhere. We just got to get that machine gun mount. I'm thinking a quad 50 turret and maybe a Bofors 40mm. We'll figure it out.